This is Crystal Ciro, RN, BSN, with more tips and tricks to improve our care. This is on Insurance Documentation Part 2. What must your note contain for every visit note? Meaning every time you do a skilled nurse visit on an insurance patient, what must be present? Your time in and time out, which was covered on the Insurance Documentation Part 1. Wound measurements and documentation. This means every time you go see an insurance patient that has a wound, the insurance company needs to see their measurements so they can see that that wound is getting better or worse, and detailed documentation of the wound itself. Homebound status. Make sure you know what your client's insurance coverage requires. Some insurance companies say they cannot leave the home at all, so some differ from what you're used to with Medicare standards. So make sure you have a clear understanding and make sure that every insurance patient has clear and detailed documentation on their homebound status. Using your narrative portion would be what I would suggest. Why are our services still needed? Why are we in the home? What are we continuing to do for this insurance client? Make sure your documentation clearly supports the skilled need that we're providing. What are we in there doing for this client that they cannot do for themselves? What is our goal with insurance documentation? It is to ensure that we are documenting the exceptional care that we are providing to the patient. We're going to provide the insurance company with the correct documentation they need to approve our visits for our patients. So if our documentation doesn't support the need, you might not be helping the patient get the care and the service that they actually need and require. You need to make sure on every insurance patient that you have detailed narrative notes for every insurance patient that you see. This is not optional. This is what determines if we get paid or not. Which leads us into this next section. If your documentation is not detailed and it does not support why our services are needed, no repayment may be received, or if we've already provided the service, they can still choose not to pay us even if we had approved visits. Your documentation can affect the care your patient receives. What you document or don't document matters. So what do you do when you've completed your documentation and your charting? You need to make sure that your documentation is as quick as possible. If you can exceed that 24-hour policy requirement, that's what you need to do. If you can go ahead and get that visit note done the minute you finish it and go ahead and sync it in, that's what you need to do. You need to let admissions know when your paperwork is ready to be sent to insurance companies. This affects your visit approval. By you not being timely with your documentation, it can prevent your patient from getting the approved visits when they need them. You are responsible to ensure your patient has approved visits. Prior to you going out there to make an insurance visit on a client, you need to make sure they have visits. How many more visits do they have left? If you're the last visit, you need to make sure you're getting in touch with admissions so that way they can get more visits approved. Why do they still need you? It's your job to help make sure that that patient has the care they need. Thank you for attending our Insurance Documentation Part 2. Stay tuned for more hot topics on tips and tricks.